Hey guys, welcome back to the garden. As I said in a video a couple of times ago, I think maybe a week ago or two, I have 3 projects this year. One is a medicinal garden, the other one is a fruit tree guild, and the last one is a difficult corner in the food forest. So we are at the end stages of the soil building in the medicinal garden bed. So this is where I want to keep all of my new medicinal plants once I find them. I wanted to show you a little bit what I've done and talk about why I've done it that way. So as you can see, I'm building the bed right on top of just grass actually that we usually cut, so we have less grass to cut once I've made this bed. And I've actually just extended an existing bed. You can see I've got lots of kale and chard and flowers and tulips and rhubarbs and other delicious things growing, so I've just extended this bed out. And what I've done is that my neighbor has given me lots of delicious horse manure. And when I got it from him, it was kind of quite cakey like this one. So I've done a bit to sort of loosen it up in smaller bits so that it's not so anaerobic. Worms should be able to penetrate, and roots. And if it's too firmly mushed together, it's more difficult. And then on top of that, I've added a thick layer of compost. But I want to say that I did add quite a thick layer of wet newspaper in the border of where the old bed stopped, because I have quite a lot of flowers and other things growing there, so I can't really make a thick enough layer to shade out the grass. So I added an extra layer of wet newspaper to make sure that the grass is not growing up in this sort of line. That's just trial and error from the way I do it, and it works for me, and maybe you have other amazing ways to do it. But wet newspaper in the border, and then I also made sure to water this area down quite a lot, because we had almost no rain all of March, like a couple of millimeters only. So the soil was quite dry, and I want to fuse the layers, so the grass should fuse with the horse manure and the compost. And to make sure that is happening, I mean, it will eventually happen, but to make sure it's happening quite fast, I watered it extensively. And what I also did was, because I'm not doing this everywhere, but because this area has been, a lot of traffic has been happening in this area, lots of wheelbarrows, lots of people, because we have the greenhouse and the vegetable garden and all of that. So this soil is quite a bit compacted. And in permaculture, we don't really disturb the soil. We don't want to disturb the soil, but I would like to loosen it a little bit. So what I did in the whole area was just lifting up, just making holes with this tool that I don't know what it's called in English, but just lifting carefully like this to make holes for more water to seep through and worms to come up, and also lifting the soil a little bit before I add the horse manure and the compost. So another thing I do, it's not now, but when I start planting plants in this, I try to fuse the layer in every hole I make where I plant a plant. So I make sure that I get all the way down and pull up some of this existing soil up through the layers of the horse manure and the compost. My feeling, this is not scientific, it's just by experience, my feeling is that this is helping speed up the fusion of the layers and the soil building. So now I have sort of loosened this a little bit, and I'm just gonna add some of this horse manure, delicious stuff. And you might think it's a bit excessive, and you don't need a layer as thick as this. But my experience is, if I don't shade out the grass or remove the grass before I do this, then I need a layer as thick as this to make sure the grass is not coming through. And since the aspect of permaculture, the aspect of soil building is one of the most important thing I think a human being can do, this actually makes total sense to me, and that's also why I keep making new beds, even if I really maybe don't need them. It's just because I enjoy this aspect of building soil and adding fertility, lushness to the garden space by doing this and hauling in all kinds of wonderful organic material that makes the plants thrive, hopefully. So a good layer of this delicious horse manure, and then on top I just add the compost. Also good layer, I'm not saving any. And it's really fascinating to see that even if you have a layer as thick as this, next year it'll be even maybe 1/3 high as what it is now. So it really sort of disappears very fast, and it's delicious. So what I need to do now is just actually continue to do this and loosen the soil first, adding the manure and the compost, and then finding a shape that I think is pleasing to the bed and to the eye. And I think I finished this bit over here. I think I like the curve of this, and it's just to continue and then trying to find the right herbs, which is proving to be quite difficult. But next time we visit this project, I'll give you a list of all the plants I'm trying to find and grow and learn to know stuff about. So thanks for watching, and see you later.